Hey guys, Nexie here from Greedy Dragon Brewing. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. And as promised, today is a shout out day. It's going to be rather extensive because I'd like to recognize all of my subscribers and people that I think are extra special in the brewing community. So please bear with me, and I hope that I mention your name, and if not, please don't be offended. I'll try to get through everybody, and please be patient. But before we get to that, it's time for a big homebrew. That's right. This is a Christmas present from my children. This is filled with some nice Mexican cerveza. You can see how nice and clear that is. A little bit of chill on that. Beautiful. This is a glass, a yard glass that's so big, had to come with its own special holder. How awesome is that? Beautiful beer on a beautiful warm spring day in the west coast of Canada. I'm going to put this on the holder here so I don't break it. And like I said, it's going to be a rather extensive list, so it may take a little bit to get through it, and hopefully I recognize everybody that I want to. But you know, from time to time it's important to recognize some pretty cool people, and the people that have subscribed to your channel and have an influence on what you do. So why not? Let's get to it. First of all, I'd like to recognize the Canadian connection, which is JMCMLXX. You've seen him numerous times on my channel. He's sent me lots of beer mail. We communicate regularly, and he's just a great guy. So cheers to you, Jay. I'd also like to recognize Strat, who has an awesome channel. If you haven't checked it out, totally Canadiana. He does a lot of brewing and a lot of cool stuff. Loose Screw. We have a beer mill exchange kind of going on between all four of us, or plus or minus. We got Doc Drive, which I recently did a review for, Brew Magoo, and Matt Parsons. Matt, you haven't gotten your beer mail yet, but we'll get to you, and who knows, maybe you'll be a lucky winner of a Greedy Dragon t-shirt. Don't know. But make sure you comment and subscribe. Alright, moving on to some of the other brewers. Of course, Nate Pico and Elder P from Under the Table Brewing. They have awesome brew days, lots of family fun. You know, their whole family gets involved. You get to see kids running around. They got a wicked awesome property. They make awesome beer. They Dropkick Nate, which is worldwide. And by the way, JMCM LXX's Whiplash is has taken off pretty well too. But Nate has a really cool videos, and it's really nice to see people incorporating the whole family into the brewing environment and just having a whole lot of fun doing it. So cheers to you. Kevin Clements, Clevin's Homebrew, great reviews, and of course the same thing. They got upbeat attitude jokes, blooper reels, you name it, lots of fun, and it's always a pleasure to watch those videos. Steve, the Canadian Sasquatch Brewer, Brewing. I like the channel, like what you do with meads, and it's really cool how you've been supportive of me, putting your comments on my channel and so forth. So cheers to you. SJ Pour, Little Face Brewing. What can you say about SJ Pour? Homebrew Wednesdays and SJ Pour Challenge, and just a whole lot of awesomeness. So cheers to you. Larry, Laramo 22. You got a wicked channel. Love the brews that you're doing, commenting on my channel, and lots of awesome exchanges, and you're very active with your homebrew group. What would they be? Society or club, and it's really cool. So keep up the great work. Of course, Brad with Wild Boys Brewery, always pushing the envelope, especially with hops. And of course, Dan ABA, the Sour Master King and information extraordinaire. Sammy, the Thrifty Brewer, a fellow Canadian. He's got an entertaining channel, and he's got lots of family stuff on there too, which I totally dig. Brett's Brewery, your home or Thirsty Thursdays are awesome. It seems like you've done a year straight of Thirsty Thursdays, which has now kind of come to an end, so you're gonna shift gears a little bit and take some time to yourself and post the odd video. keep up the great work. I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna miss your videos because it was part of my weekly routine, but I'm sure there'll be much more to come from you, and I'll mention you again later. And of course, what shout out session would be complete without picking up your big glass, taking a swig, and giving a huge cheers to such an awesome bloke, a maniacal character, just a great all-around guy, Mr. Polly Datmertz. Love your videos, love the goats, and you're a great guy. You clearly see it through your channel and from all your communications with me and other brewers around the world, man. Cheers to you. So, take another swig of that great beer. Thank you, Polly. Keep up the great work, and hopefully sometime I will get down across the border and have a visit with you. Also like to recognize some of the casters out there, because it seems to be one of the trend. Not only is there YouTubers, but there's also Von Live casters. Of course, you can't recognize casters without recognizing Craig, the original Craig Tube. You've got a great Friday night cast, and I don't know how you do it, because somehow you're still casting on Saturday, right? And I guess if you're in Australia, the days kind of mixed up, but you are a machine. There's Jen, the Fiddlehead channel, and dig what you're doing. J Muff, Jake and Dar, Maniac, and of course the newer kind of channel. It's called the IBM channel, which is the Iowa Brew Mafia, which is a combination of Ryan Murphy, Rye Channel, and Brett's Brewery. So cheers to you guys. Keep up the great work. It's nice to build community that way, and for everybody to have a chance to communicate with each other, and that is awesome. So now I'm gonna take another drink. Mexican cerveza is just a beautiful lawnmower drink. Springtime, when it starts getting hot, summertime, even throw in a slice of lime. It's great. By the way, my Pilsner has just finished its fermentation, and now it's just chilling. I'm trying to keep the temperature as low as possible, but I don't have a designated like lagering fermentation chamber, so I'm keeping it in a cold room for as long as possible, and hopefully it turns out nicely that way. But it is what it is, and either way I'm gonna drink it. Moving on, so I'm gonna go through some subscribers, and hopefully I catch everybody. If you commented on my channel and I didn't pick you up for some reason, thank you. I appreciate your support. I hope that you do sub. If you haven't subbed already, thumbs up, and sub, because it takes a lot of work putting these videos together, and I know all the brew tubers out there really appreciate your comments, your input, and of course your subscriptions. It makes it all worthwhile. So I'm gonna go through this list fairly quickly. If I mispronounce your name, I apologize. I apologize a lot, because I'm Canadian. Grant Baker, Wego Carlson, Taz Spark, Margot FR, Ryan Murphy, Maria Minnie, Jim Balmbra, Devin Stinson, Olgard Outlander, Josh Sakur, Sui Generous Brewing, Redneck, Jorgen Olgensen, George Inky, Shadow Beast Brewery, Paul Keaton, Lamar Simmons, Kevin Mitchell, Dan Braybook, Brian Dean, Neil Ingleton, Dave Boyle, Rodell's Channel, J Muff, Lee Smith, Adam Robinson, Jordan Lindsay, Rex Benoit, Stoll Yvonne Tick, Trevor Mick77, John McElberry, Cogumel Bière, the Yorkshire Homebrew, and that's an awesome channel, by the way, check it out. Woodville, Cheers Hophead, Newfound Brewing, Mark DeWall, Tim Kreitz Adventures, and by the way, this is a pretty unique channel because it's one of those ghost riding, motorbiking things, and it's in Texas, which I know nothing about, but you know, just seeing the scenery and like this whole abandoned, you know, landscape, and there's a whole lot of stories there from the urbanization of Texas, you know, and there's all these communities and stuff that used to be that aren't there anymore. And he goes around on his bike and checks them out. I think he has some brewing videos in there somewhere, and he's also a musician, so he's got a band and he's on tour a lot. So check out that channel. It's pretty awesome. Richard Stokes, Beninator, Daniel Toon, Pashhead Repent, Swansea's Brewhouse, Natty Fan for Life, Looney Tune Larry, Canuck Homebrews Supply, D. Simino, Dave Cullen, The Backwood Bastard, that's cool, Kirk Sexton, Halvard, Ovan, Oyervin, Frode Erickson, Delivery Boy 5555, yes, Super Welder 100, I'm assuming you're a welder, Canadian Sasquatch Brewery, which I've already mentioned, Amphelin Kirel, Jocelyn Farr, Christian Seven, Tibor 23, of course, Strat, Todd Dixon, Trinity's Homebrew, Absolutely Positive, Combination 13, Aussie Brew, Matowix, Martin Combos, Kiwis, Sniper, wonder where you're from, New Zealand maybe, I don't know, Jason Davies, My Plastic Brewery, Med Preps, T. George, Daniel Ennis, Christian, Brew Bear, cheers buddy, Brain Eating Zombie, that's a cool name, Norfolk Hillbilly, Thrifty Brewer, Steve, Home Brew, which is cool, he's working away on his channel, and it's really cool, Abby Kohler, David Smith, Brewing with Bill, I think he's still working on a book, so check it out. A State of Brewing, Steve Molson, Hop Fool, Brewer, Clem, Eli, Uncle Jonah, Off Tap Brewing, TJ Harlow, Macam 72, Herkel Blue, Les Waller. Les Waller has a lot of reviews, video reviews that he puts up. I Huber, Martin Pelletier, Paul Lorenz, Brewer 64, who has a lot of food cooking videos and beer videos and all sorts of good stuff. Scott Millican, I've already mentioned Clements, Homebrew, Dimpy aka Jigsaw Combat, Short Circuit Brewers, Jeff McDonald, Adrian DeBruin, Slinkers, 111, UFOs Canada, Cale McKee, Chris Green, Andrew Torrance, Juan M, Timsy here, The Killer Terror, Canadian Beef Sandwiches, The Cat with The Priceless Nightmare, Wiki Snaps, Puka NC, that's Brad, Wild Boys Brewery, gotta check it out, Ethan Beer Reviews, The Technician Brewery, which is Gear Doll, and lots of awesomeness, Matt McInnes, cheers, Sam Brew, Clark Capers, Chris W, Priceless Big Man, Rich Guayette, The Rookie Brew. You know, he's been a subscriber for my channel for a year, and he's got his own channel, and I didn't realize that I wasn't subbed to it until I just checked it out, and I was like, what the heck? So I subbed, so you should too. Tim Greenborough, Beer Brewer, Chase City, Johnny Mac, Loose Screw, John Stanhope, Smokey123, and Brett's Brewery, Tristan Ward, Main Guy, Gary. Haven't seen a video from you lately. Hopefully it's out there. I think last time you were mentioning that you're working on a winemaking video, but life is busy right now for a lot of these guys, so you know, I always appreciate the videos when they're posted. Of course, what life wouldn't be complete with the already mentioned S.J. Poor, Joey Sage, Rivaldo, Prince Krytotic, Gash Slug, hope you're doing well, Steve Hayward, Mr. Whiten 50, hello, time for another one, Paul, awesome videos, Larmo 22, Psychics, yeah, watch anime, Subliminal, Chris Hutchinson, Jared Heath, Sean Garrard, of course the Brew Magoo, and Mr. Tony Yates. Donate. Cheers. It's a good time to have a drink. Under the Table Brewing, of course, Polly Detmertz, Sam Welburn, Eddie Zuki, PA Brew News, cheers. Revolutionary Brewer, nice videos. Another Canadian, likes Tim Hortons coffee, same as me. Addy Niblet, Brew Tube Tech, lots of great ideas, and I think you're in New Zealand. Yes, you're in New Zealand. Tim Cook, Theo Brewhouse, Simon Guetz, Michelle Boylan, John Smith, All Tech, Sugarbrook Brewing. I haven't seen you for a little while, but I know that you're on the cast, so hopefully you can get a Homebrew Wednesday up again soon when your life settles out, your little kids and everything. Victor Bitter, man, you are a machine. You comment everywhere and you brew like crazy, like a bat out of hell. Awesome stuff. Tony Cormier, Jeremy Hornzell, MW3 Gamer Guy, awesome. Matt Parsons, which is Noof from Ontario, Canada. De Ultimate, which I haven't seen you around too much lately, but I know you're on the cast too. Broad Home Brewer, Sleepy Terror, Priceless Nightmare, which is an awesome channel, by the way. If you're into gaming and casting and stuff, and I think you have a Twitch account, which is awesome. Kieran Brofeld, of course, Dan ABA, Amorific, JMZM, LXX Tricksters, and Mr. Corn Zenith himself, the Australian powerhouse from Corn Zenith Creations, and Genova XP, to name a few, and I think I've probably missed a lot, but that's what's on my list. So, make sure that you comment, because I'm at close to 200 subscribers. I'm going to go through all the comments, and everybody that has both, if you sub, you get a vote, and if you commented on my videos, you get an extra vote, and one of you out there will be the winner of a Lucky Greedy Dragon t-shirt. You can choose the color. Well, I think there's somewhat of a limited selection, but you can pretty much choose your color. So, I'd like to thank all of you personally for either being part of my channel or being influential parts of the brewing community. SJ Porter's Challenge is coming up. There's some Canadian brew challenges and lots of cool things going on. It's spring and summertime, so I'll probably be out on some winery tours. There's been a new distillery that's opened up here in town. Actually, there's been a lot of distilleries that have opened up in this area. The Okanagan Valley of British Columbia, Canada, is kind of turning into kind of a craft paradise. And I've kind of been a little bit remiss, and maybe I'll get onto that. Off the top of my head, we have a couple of craft breweries right here in town. So we've got the Cannery Brewing Company, the Tin Whistle Brewing Company, and Bad Tattoo Brewing. We have the Barley Mill Brew House, and I don't know if I mentioned Tin Whistle Brewing. Did I do that? I'm not sure. There's the People Craft House. Boy, there's about 200 wineries in the area. There's a whole pile of new distilleries. There's a meadery in the community about an hour away. What else is there? There's a couple cideries that have come up, and it just seems like the sky's the limit. And I think it's all driven by people just wanting to get some flavor back in their booze. So, you know, they want flavorful beer, they want flavorful food, flavorful wine. They want the full meal deal for what they're paying for, because alcohol, let's face it, is fairly expensive. So you might as well get a little piece of home. And I think that's pretty cool. It's a great evolution. And of course there's hop growing and all sorts of awesome things. So hopefully I'll get a chance to be able to show off some of those places and be able to show a little piece of this part of Canada for you. So anyways, I've drone on long enough. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. thank you for supporting my channel. Keep up your hard work on your own channels and supporting this great brewing community. Brew great beer. This is Nexia. Come on over, pull up a chair, and have a big beer with me. Cheers. And 17.